Hello everybody and welcome back to part 2 of our 1998 Formula 1 career mode with Benetton Formula 1 team, the boys in blue as I like to call it, and we are here for, well, what surely is going to be a fantastic race at Bahrain International Circuit. These cars, of course, are new round here, new under the lights, and it's going to be a very, very entertaining race, I can assure you that. And, well, finally got those upgrades that we were longing for last race. Those 2 chassis upgrades have come our way, and hopefully they're going to give us the boost that we need in the race and qualifying. And as you can see there on your screens, there's no rain, miraculously, in Bahrain, I know. Unlike last week at Australia, where in our first qualifying session, the game decided, yes, let's give Aaron the best conditions to do his first few laps in this car. And it wasn't good. And this time the F1 gods have been a little bit nicer and given me a dry track. And I don't think it's ever rained in Bahrain. I think many people will agree with me on that. But yeah, these were actually my first few laps in this car on this track. And admittedly, it doesn't really suit these older cars very well. But I wouldn't say it's bad at all. It just the nature of the track doesn't really suit it very well, as you will find out during the race. But nevertheless, this is the end of our first run. And it is a 37, dead nearly. Of course, it's never going to be 0-0-0, is it? Because why would it want to, be satisfying at all? And speaking of unsatisfying, the F1 gods decided to give me a giant middle finger during qualifying, as I was just trying to let people through. Then they just re-overtook me, and then slowed down, and then it gave me a 5-place grid penalty, which, is lovely, isn't it? So that gives us an even bigger disadvantage for qualifying. As we come to the end of our lap now, we improved by 1.5 seconds nearly, but it's still not going to be enough for even the top 10. And on our third and final run, we managed to get the slipstream of Jacques Villeneuve, but it helped us in the first sector. And as you can see, right now, I'm just getting held up by the Williams. I don't know what's been going on with the Williams so far this season, and we only improved by 2 tenths. And where do we end up? 18th. 18th in our second qualifying with a 5-place grid penalty. Let's do this. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Formula 1 Championship. We are in round 2 at the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir, and I can assure you that this is going to be a fantastic day for racing. It's night time. These drivers have never done that before in their lives, so we can only hope that we will get some salty action tonight. 4.4 kilometers, 3.3 miles, 15 corners around this glorious international circuit, and those 15 corners will be used and abused tonight, as they will be the victims of crashes, overtakes, possibly even more, who knows. And yeah, these guys have got a tough challenge on their hands over the next 29 laps. And qualifying was an interesting spectacle, to say the least. The grid is fairly muddled up, as the track sort of changed throughout qualifying very drastically. But a lot more normal than Australia, I'll put it that way, as at least we have a Ferrari on the front row. And well, it was the Jordan of Damon Hill then taking a pole position for the first time in ages. And Eddie Irvine lines up alongside with John Alesi in third, Mika Salo in fourth. The Schumachers line up 5th and 6th once again. 7th for David Coulthard, 8th for McHakkinen, Nakano 9th, Barrichello 10th, Genier 11th, Verstappen 12th, Magnussen 13th, Frentzen 14th, Villeneuve in 15th, Fisichella 16th, Johnny Herbert 17th, Pedro De La Rosa 18th, Rosset 19th, and Aaron Smith in last. And, well, just like Australia, we're left with it all to do, starting from the back of the pack. And now we just wait anxiously for those 5 iconic red lights to go out. And we are underway here in Bahrain for the first time under the lights. And we get a fairly decent start off the line, already overtaking the 2 cars in front of us, the Arrows and the Tyrrell. And we're going to go for a move into turn 1 on Johnny Herbert now. And we're just crawling through turn 1. I think that's one of the Jordan's front wings who we just ran over. And getting it a little bit loosey-goosey on the exit of turn 2 and turn 3. Little bit more sideways than we would like, but nevertheless we're going to go for a send into turn 3 and getting it very, very close to that jet black Arrows of Pedro de la Rosa. He gets the better exit off turn 4, but into turn 5 we have the inside line and just squeeze him out a little bit. There's a tiny bit of contact, and race control tell us don't do that again, and I say suck my balls, because clearly they do not give a toss about what else is going on track. But anyway, we just managed to slip ahead up into 18th place, and ooh, getting it a little bit late on the brakes into turn 10. And remember, it's lap 1, everything's cold, just like our car, and we just got to take it easy and not make any mistakes, and come out the other side clean. As we saw last time out in Australia, anything can happen on the opening lap, and we do not want what happened to Ralf Schumacher to happen to us. That would be very, very bad. Indeed, it would be. But coming on to the start of the second lap, we're a little bit closer to everyone else. It's just really, because of the random grid order, really, that we had in qualifying yesterday, getting a bit sideways. It's just, everyone's getting bunched up by these cars ahead, especially the Williams. And we're trying to overtake Johnny Herbert still, who locks up into turn 4, forces us wide, and I give him way too much room, which forces us off the track, and yeah, obviously we're going to have to give that place back. And, well, in spite of what Verstappen did, we're going to let him back past, and then pass him again. And Verstappen, eat your heart out, that's how it's done. But actually, we haven't got it done quite yet, as Herbert gets a good exit off 8 and into turn 10. He leaves us absolutely no room whatsoever. The English Pratt is going to get what he deserves later on in the race, don't you worry. As we're still just being held up by these, I think it's the Minardis in front, as Villeneuve has managed to get past them. But into turn 13 then, a little bit sideways, but we managed to get ahead of Herbert, and that's what you get, my friend, for not leaving me any room. And we just nudge him off the track. As Schumacher sets the fastest lap, but it is only lap 3, and I can assure you those lap times will get quicker and quicker. But yeah, look how much we're being held up by Nakano in front. And we're going to pull alongside, so Frentzen can't actually go for a move. And because these guys have such horrible straight line speed, we're just going to absolutely breeze past them and go for the triple overtake into turn 1. And that was a very, very clean move, if I do say so myself. We had 3 cars in front of us at the start of the straight and 3 cars behind us at the end. And look how much we've pulled away already. And there is a yellow flag out in Sector 2. That's at turn 10. Someone has gone off the track, and we're going to take a look at who that was. I believe this is one of the Minardis. Getting it. Oh, yeah, you do not want to go sideways into turn 10. Unless you're Fernando Alonso, then maybe. But I think Nakano was just pushing his luck a little bit. But Salo and Jenny battling for 11th place. We're just going to just brake a little bit earlier. Let these guys fight. We don't want to get involved just yet. But now we get a better exit than Salo. Give him a little bit of a love tap. And now this gives us a prime opportunity to overtake him into turn 4. Late braking, and we get the move done up into 12th place. We're making good progress so far. Better progress than last time out, I'd say, and we were on the mediums then. And now getting it, literally drifting through turn 10 there. And I think someone else behind was drifting, but maybe drifted a little bit too much. And we're going to take a look at who it was that bottled it. This is Heinz-Harald Frentzen, and yeah, did what I did especially, but just didn't manage to save it. Which obviously means I'm better. The Williams have had a really horrible start to the season. They need to pick up the pace. And I put that car to good use. It's not as good as their 97 car, but... And, well, there's another yellow flag out in Sector 2 at the end. And that's one of the arrows going very, very slowly with... Well, yeah, I don't really need to describe that one. You can work that one out for yourself, what happened to that arrows. And very unfortunate for them, who look, they looked really good in round 1, but just can't seem to have the pace round here. But Shanae then getting a bad exit off turn 10 and gives us a good opportunity to pull alongside and easily breeze past the Minardi into turn 11. Putting it up in rich mix just to make sure we get ahead. And now we can start to pull away and focus on the top 10 now. As some cars have already made their pit stop on lap 8, bit early if you ask me. And that's my teammate Magnussen trying to battle it out for 5th place. And there's Coulthard coming out the pits. That's not going to be awkward at all. Oh, it's getting very, very close, but we sense an opportunity and pull alongside Magnussen and overtake him into turn 2. That was a very good move around the outside. And Magnussen's now under pressure from Hakkinen into turn 4. And as we just start to pull away, Magnussen gets it very loosey-goosey and has to concede 2 positions, actually. Yeah, that mistake from Magnussen then giving us that little boost that we needed in this race to just pull away from the cars behind. But it didn't actually last very long, as we've already got Herbert right on our tail, and you're going to see that, yeah, me and Herbert go toe-to-toe quite often in this race. Into turn 11, he gets ahead of us. And we try and go for the cutback, but we're just pulling alongside, but around the outside, it's really difficult to hold on there. And we can't quite do what we did to him on the opening laps, and we're just going to have to sit back for now and just bide our time, which we do on lap 11, all the way into rich mix, but we're just topping out there. But we go for ascend into turn 1 anyway. Still managed to hit the apex though. Good braking from myself as Herbert tries to come back, but pinches himself on turn 2, and we just managed to stay ahead, and also putting it in lean mix just to try and save a little bit of fuel. Weaving a little bit just to try and break that slipstream. But, I mean, look, we just can't pull away from Herbert at all. There's nothing between us at all. And into turn 11, he's going to try and go for a move, but I don't really know what he was thinking there. There wasn't a gap there at all for him. And yeah, that's cost him a bunch of time, but it helps us just to pull away now. We have a 1.5-second gap as he falls into the britches of Damon Hill, and Mika Hakkinen then he came in for his 2nd stop on lap 18, and we try and re-overtake him on our in-lap as we just try and hold up anyone that we can. And coming in for our 1st stop and only stop. I don't know why some of the AI decided that a 2-stop would be a good idea, yeah, especially the top runners like Mika Hakkinen. You'd think they would go on a good strategy, but I guess they're doing a Ferrari. But we need a good stop here from the boys in blue. It's going to be a 2.3-second stop. A decent stop from us. But most importantly, is it going to get us ahead of Johnny Herbert? That is the real question. It's going to be super, super close. You can see on the minimap, we're coming out of the pit lane. It's going to be so close into turn 1. And it's like, I don't even, that was super, super close. It's almost like Gutierrez and Maldonado or Sainz and Stroll. That was super, super close, and just managed to keep it on the track. But on lap 24, that's how long it took us to catch back up to him. And yeah, we're just topping out. We can't really seem to get any overspeed on him. And we're just trying to force him into some kind of error there into turn 1. Couldn't quite get him to any kind of error. Excuse my awful line through turn 2. It is really difficult to drive this car. But it's not until the very last lap where we were close enough to even think about having another go. We've been following him all up. Eddie Irvine has taken his 2nd win of the season. He's off rolling in front of everyone else. But it's coming down to the last corner. We're going to try and take the wide line, but Johnny Herbert's locked up. We just managed to avoid him, and we overtake him for 7th place. Oh my word, we've just managed to do it. Oh, what a fantastic result. Oh, who would have thought that was coming? He made a mistake on the final corner. We've been pushing for it the whole race. Oh, what a result.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
And well, after a fairly hectic final few laps then, we managed to come home in P7 from last. And yeah, let's hope next race we don't start from last. I'd rather not. It would make my life a lot easier. Although it does make the races fairly entertaining. I'm sure you guys will agree. But yeah, Benetton off with a pretty good start to the season. Maybe not as good as the last few seasons for Benetton. Of course, they would rather hope that they would be finishing on the podium or even better. But I'd say third place at the moment isn't too bad. Williams really do need to pick up the pace. They do have a quick car, but just don't seem to be making the best of it. Too many mistakes from their drivers, especially from Frentzen. He really does need to pick it up. Villeneuve seems to be carrying the team hard right now. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. It's been a really, really fun race once again. And, well, we can only hope for better next time out in Malaysia. If I can get it working, I've been Mr. HMS, Aaron Smith, whatever. And I'll see you next time.